All right, everybody, welcome. Here we go. Today we're going to get real stuff happening. If every part of your business has to touch you before it moves, you actually haven't built freedom. You've only built friction. Here's the thing. If decisions slow down when you're out of town, if your team waits for your input as a default, if you're the only one who can answer a question with confidence, then you haven't just overcommitted. You've accidentally built your business around yourself. You've become the system. Now, that might have cut it when you were flying solo, but it breaks down the moment that you try to grow. But if that's how things are still run now, you're not growing, you're grinding. And it's time to get real. It's wearing you down. I talk to business owners every single day, and behind all the invoices, revenue, and those good problems to have conversations, this is what I hear over and over and over again in quiet moments. I feel like I have to hold everything in my head, or no one else sees the whole picture like I do, or I can't step away. Not really. Now, that doesn't sound dramatic. It actually sounds a little bit responsible, maybe even noble. But underneath those words is a business that's over-relying on its founder for survival. Every decision filtered through you. Every project paused until you weigh in. And every problem, it's held until you show back up. Now, you're not leading from vision. You're functioning as the operational core. And operational cores never rest. You might be making money. You might have a team. But if your peace is tied to constant presence, you're not leading a business. You're running its nervous system. And nervous systems don't take time off. They just burn out. Now here's the kicker. Most owners know deep down, but they don't know how to escape it. Because somewhere along the way, we started tying our identity to our actual involvement. We say things like, if I'm not in every meeting, how will they still respect me? Or if I don't weigh in, how do I actually stay relevant? Or the killer, right? If I hand it off, what's left for me to do? Because we confuse contribution with control, and we confuse exhaustion with excellence. And little by little, we train ourselves to believe, I'm valuable because I'm involved. Here's the hard truth. If your value is measured by how many problems you solve, you will never stop solving problems. And eventually, your love for the work will just get buried under the weight of it. Now, that's how owners end up burned out in businesses that they once dreamed about. Not because they failed, but because they stayed too central for way too long. So here's the shift today. You are not the system. You are the designer. You were never supposed to be the processor in the business. You were meant to be the architect. That's what empowerment design is all about. It is not about stepping back. It's about building forward with intention, with clarity, and with structure that doesn't rest on your back. It's really not about doing less. It's about doing what only you can do and nothing else. So today, let me give you 3 things that you can do right now. No software, no consulting contract, no chaos, just grounded, real leadership. Step 1, map the you first tasks. Sit down with a pen and write the things that always seem to find their way back to you. Quotes, approvals, crisis calls, quick decisions, anything that gets held up because you haven't looked at it yet. Now circle 3 of those things and ask yourself, what would it take for someone else to move this without my involvement? It might be a boundary that needs to be defined, or a pricing framework, or a visual approval checklist, or a simple text that says, if X happens, do this. If Y happens, escalate it. And then I want you to test it, hand it off, and resist the urge to jump back in. Now, why does this work? Because when we think we have unique knowledge, it's often just undocumented experience. The second it becomes visible, it becomes transferable. All right, step 2, create a leadership trigger log. Every time someone asks you a question that makes your eye twitch just a little bit, don't snap, just log it. Make a really quick note. What triggered this? Why did it come to me? What system or lack of one is actually responsible here? Then pick one of those triggers per week. Open up your phone, record a 2-minute voice memo or a screen share or a quick video walking through what the actual answer is. Then label it and drop it in a folder that your team can access. There's your playbook, built while you were leading. Now, this is how we stop having the same conversations every single month, and we start building reusable clarity. And finally, step 3, run a day without you trial. This is big. Pick one day next week and tell your team, unless something is completely burning down, I'm out. They need to solve, they log, they lead. And at the end of that day, take time to sit down and reflect on what actually happened. Look at what your team handled smoothly without your involvement. Look at where things kept moving and decisions were made with confidence. Then notice what stalled or got stuck and ask yourself, why? Pay attention to what surfaced that might have been hidden before. Unclear roles, missing information, patterns of hesitation. Now, this isn't about judgment, it's about visibility. The goal is to see your business clearly, what's working, what's wobbly, and where your leadership structure needs refinement. You'll learn more from that one day than an entire month of meetings, because absence reveals both capability and chaos. Now, what are you going to find? You're going to find that your team is far more capable than you realized, and that you're far more replaceable than you feared. And that is a good thing. Let me tell you about one of my clients, Jared. He ran a rock solid service business. Now, the numbers, they looked good. The team looked good. But inside, he was drowning in micro decisions. Every tool order, every tech question, every PTO request. He told me, if I don't touch it, it doesn't move. So we used these exact 3 steps to start the shift. First, we identified 8 specific you first triggers, those tasks and decisions that always seemed to land back on his desk. And then instead of building complex systems, we created 4 simple tools using nothing more than sticky notes and quick iPhone videos. Practical, accessible, and very easy to implement. And then finally, we established Thursdays as a no contact unless urgent day, giving the team the space to lead and to make decisions without relying on him as the default. These small intentional moves created a ripple effect that changed how the entire business operated. So 6 weeks later, Slack messages cut in half, decisions made faster, and team satisfaction improved. Oh, and Jared, he took his first 3-day weekend without any panic whatsoever. He didn't just work less, he led better. I'll tell you about another client, Jamie. She was running a high-end cleaning company, tons of vision, massive commitment, but nothing could move without her eye on it. So we shifted her role from operations director to visions integrator. And she started by building what we called her What Good Looks Like library, a simple, powerful collection of tools to guide her team without needing her constant oversight. It included short 5-minute walkthroughs of past positive result jobs, curated swipe files for inspiration, and examples of past wins that reflected the company's standards and her own personal guidelines for how the work should feel and function. This gave her team clarity, direction, and the confidence to make aligned decisions without waiting for her to sign off on everything. Suddenly, her team didn't need her approval on everything. They were making decisions based on their designed framework, not insecurity. And she went from being the filter to being the leader. And her business, it grew 22% in 90 days without her adding any hours. You don't need to do everything. You need to define what done looks like and then empowers others to meet it. This is what we do in empowerment design. We teach business owners how to get out of the mental bottleneck, not just the calendar one. We replace guesswork with rhythm. We replace emotional fatigue with documented wisdom. And we replace isolation with distributed confidence. If that's what you're ready for, if you're done being the air traffic controller and ready to become the architect, DM me the word design, and I'll send you a simple starting point that'll show you where your involvement is still clogging your business and how to start clearing it out. No program, no pitch, just a simple doorway forward. And let me leave you with this today. You were not meant to be the glue. You were meant to be the guide. You don't need to build a business that makes you feel important. You need to build one that gives you peace. And when you do, your people will rise, your impact will grow, and your business always becomes more valuable. And you finally get to become the kind of leader who builds legacy, not just revenue. Look, this is the work. This is the shift. And this is only step 2. We've got 8 more steps coming. And over the next 8 weeks, each one is designed to help you build a business that actually works, even when you don't. But first, let's finish step 2. Be back here on Friday, same time, same place, brand new info. And let's build what lasts together. Can't wait to see you on Friday.